Hello and welcome to Question Hour, a unique show on Rajya Sabha TV where we get to latest from the Parliament House, questions asked by the members in the upper house, by the government and department and the ministries, and the reply given by the same. I'm the anchor Rajat Kain, joining with me my colleague Kriti Mishra.
Thank you so much, Rajat. So let's take our viewers through important questions and answers that we've filtered for them in this edition of the Question Hour show.
Well, the first question of the show that was asked by member Vinay Sahasrabudhe from Ministry of Home Affairs. The member asked whether there are any new schemes or programs introduced by the government to combat terrorism during the last 5 years. The member has also sought details.
In the response, the government says that it has adopted zero tolerance policy towards terrorism. Close and effective mechanism exists between intelligence and security agencies at the centre as well as the state level. The multi-agency centre, which is MAC, has been strengthened and reorganized to enable it to function on a 24/7 basis for a real-time collation and sharing of intelligence with the central and state agencies concerned. States have raised special forces to deal with terror incidents, and central armed police forces and national security guards have also been stationed at different locations to assist the states in dealing with such incidents. The central agencies have been organizing capacity building programs for the states and also for the forces regarding intelligence sharing and investigation of terror cases. The government further says that it engages with other countries on an ongoing basis on the issue of terrorism during various high-level and official talks. The government has also set up joint working groups, JWGs, on counter-terrorism with 25 countries and 3 groupings, that is, BIMSTEC, BRICS, and also with the European Union. The meetings of these groups are held on a regular basis, which have been found useful for exchange of views on threat perceptions, sharing of experiences and best practices, as well as capacity building to combat the menace of terrorism. Let's move on to the next question that has been asked by member Sanjay Seth, and this question also pertains to the Ministry of Home Affairs. And Mr. Seth has asked the government whether it has sanctioned a scheme for establishment of Indian Cyber Crime Coordination Centre to handle issues related to cyber crime in the country, and if so, the details thereof.
For replying in affirmative, the ministry said it has rolled out a scheme, Indian Cybercrime Coordination Centre, to combat cybercrime across the country in a coordinated and effective manner. The scheme has following 7 components: National Cybercrime Threat Analytics Unit, National Cybercrime Reporting Portal, Platform for Joint Cybercrime Investigation Team, National Cybercrime Forensic Laboratory Ecosystem, National Cybercrime Training Centre, National Cybercrime Ecosystem Management Unit, and National Cybercrime Research and Innovation Centre. 21 states and union territories, namely Andaman Nicobar Islands, Andhra Pradesh, Delhi, Goa, Gujarat, Haryana, Himachal, Jammu and Kashmir, Jharkhand, Kerala, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Manipur, Meghalaya, Odisha, Pondicherry, Punjab, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Tripura and Uttarakhand have agreed to set up regional cybercrime coordination centres. MHA operationalised National Cybercrime Portal on 30th August 2019, and the complaints reported are dealt by law enforcement agencies of the concerned states and UTs as per provision of law. 33,152 cybercrime incidents have been reported till 30th January 2020 on the portal, wherein 790 FIRs has been lodged. Well, moving on to another question that was asked by member Dr. Prabhakar Kore from Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. The member asked about the scheme for housing for the elderly people.
In response, the ministry has said that this ministry does not support any paid housing for elderly people, and therefore no such data is available in the ministry. The ministry, however, has taken several steps for housing and regulation of housing for elderly people. Now, these steps include the Maintenance and Welfare of Parents and Senior Citizens Act 2007, which includes the provision that the state governments may establish and maintain such number of old age homes at accessible places, beginning at least 1 in each district. Further, the state government may prescribe a scheme for management of old age homes, including the standards and various types of services to be provided by them, which are necessary for medical care and means of entertainment to the inhabitants of such homes. Provisions of registration of such homes, including paid and private old age homes, senior citizens care homes, their standardization and monitoring by the state governments have been included in the Maintenance and Welfare of Parents and Senior Citizens Amendment Bill 2019. The ministry is also implementing a central sector scheme for integrated program for senior citizens, under which granted aid is provided for implementing agencies for running and maintaining senior citizens' homes or old age homes for senior citizens. Further, the department has recently launched National Action Plan for the Welfare of Senior Citizens to enable them to lead a life of dignity. It includes programs for providing spaces for old age homes, senior citizens' homes, multi-service daycare centers for the senior citizens. And moving on to the next question that has been asked by member PL Punya, and this question pertains to the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. And Mr. Punya has asked the government about the quantum of petroleum required in India per year.
Well, replying, the ministry said the percentage of import dependency on oil based on consumption of petroleum products during 2018-19 was about 83.8%. Indian Strategic Petroleum Reserve Limited, a Government of India special purpose vehicle, has established strategic petroleum reserves facilities with total capacity of 5.33 million metric tons at 3 locations: Visakhapatnam, Mangaluru and Padur. As per the consumption pattern of 2017-18, total capacity is estimated to provide for about 9.5 days of crude oil requirement. Government has given in-principle approval for establishing 2 additional strategic petroleum reserves facilities with total storage capacity of 6.5 million metric tons at 2 locations, namely Chandikhol in Odisha, having a capacity of 4 MMT, that is million metric tons, and Padur in Karnataka with 2.5 million metric tons capacity. Now, as per the consumption pattern of 2017-18, 6.5 million metric ton SPR capacity is estimated to provide for about additional 11.57 days of India's crude oil requirement. Government has also given in-principle approval for exploring public-private partnership model for second phase. Well, moving on to the last question of this edition of Question Hour, that was asked by member Prabhakar Reddy Reddy from Ministry of Steel. The member asked whether it's a fact that government is in discussion with Japanese and Korean firms to set up 5 MTPA capacity steel plant through joint venture of RINL.
Well, given a very specific response, the government says that Ministry of Steel had discussions with Japanese and Korean firms in August 2018 to explore possibilities of facilitating domestic manufacturing of high-grade steel with the help of Japanese and Korean firms. Thereafter, in October 2019, a non-binding MOU has been signed between RINL and POXCO for exploring to establish an integrated steel plant in Andhra Pradesh with the approval of the RINL board.
Well, that's it in this edition of Question Hour. But don't go anywhere away. Across the break, you see the Hindi edition of the show Prashn Kal with our colleagues Arvind Singh and Kriti Singh. Thank you for watching Question Hour.